So one of the things that people often find is when they start working on their back, start working to recover from lower back pain down here, because they're being more active with them holding their own body more effectively, which is a good thing, they realize that, gosh, this area of the back is stiff. And sometimes people think, oh, is it referring up to my back? It's like, no, you're just using your body more effectively. So you're actually bracing this area and using muscles that you haven't been using effectively for a while, and they're fatiguing, they're getting tired, which is why you've got some discomfort. Sometimes it feels like burning, right? The same kind of burning that you might get in your shoulder if you just do small circles. I always remember as a boy playing football, we used to do this horrible drill where we just stand there and just do small circles for ages, and your shoulders would burn. They'd burn. And that's the same kind of burning fatigue from these muscles when you're trying to hold yourself up, which is why that three-step office setup was a three-step office setup with a chair to sit and relax in, because you want to have the opportunity to take those muscles off strain, because they're going to fatigue relatively quickly because you're probably not using them and haven't conditioned them very well in the first instance. So yeah, good question. So working on flexibility in the early stages of the recovery process is a waste of time. It really is. Now, we still do some flexibility work that we talk about in the back pain relief stuff, in the relief work within the program, but we have to not be under false expectations that that's actually cumulative in any meaningful way. However, that exact same flexibility work that we're doing in the early stages of recovery can start to have improvements in the latter stages, because some of the factors that have prevented us getting better have been mitigated by way of increasing strength and resilience in this lower back, so it's not being flared up every single day. There are no stretches that are going to fix your back pain. You fix your back pain and your back injuries by doing rehabilitative exercises. Stretches are temporary manipulations of the soft tissue. They do not provide cumulative benefit, especially in the presence of constant overriding signals to those very same muscles. Yes, stretching does work. Like, for example, if you take the uninjured individual and constantly stretch their hamstrings, they will make improvements in their flexibility. But the problem is, you guys have injured this section down here in the lumbar spine. So you stretch your hamstrings out, and then you irritate your L5-S1 or L4-5, which sends signals back out to those hamstrings to tell them to tighten up. So you lose the gains that you've made. So that's why stretching, we're not saying stretching doesn't work. Stretching very clearly works, and stretching is something that is included. But you have to appreciate that stretching is going to have limited benefit when the cause of that tightness, that significant tightness that many of you will experience, goes unchecked.